I'm going to test the Equinox 800 with the smart coil 6-inch against the Simplex 5x9 SP24 coil and at a 3-inch with a 3-inch deep dime in some horrible iron in my backyard here. I found a lot of relics, a lot of coins in this area, and a lot of bottle caps, just a lot of cans, a lot of foil, just massive. I'll show you here in a second. And the Equinox is in park one mode right now, but I'm gonna factory preset it here in a second just to match them up a little bit here. Turn on and go. And I'll unmute them Simplex here. It's kind of early in the morning, so I don't. It's too noisy for this early in the morning, right? So I'll start with the Equinox and I'll turn it off here and I'll factory preset it. Just turn on and go machine, right? It's not a turn on and go machine, but I'll show you. I'll dial it in here a little bit here. Factory preset. And I'll noise cancel first thing. Oops, went too far. Noise cancel. And I'll turn the volume up just a little bit because I think it's factory preset too low here. So I'll just go up to the volume level. Adjust it up a little bit there. Let me test it out here. Okay. Yeah, that's a little bit too noisy. I'll go down with it. And I will turn the iron volume on here. This is how much iron is back here, right? My sensitivity, I'll put my sensitivity up to 20. I'll put my sensitivity lower. I'll start out with lower, 15, because there's just so much iron here, and it's only a 3-inch deep target, right? If I'm hunting in this deep iron here, I don't have my sensitivity jacked all the way up. With the Simplex, I do. But with this machine, you just can't. Even with the Amphibio too, the Amphibio, you cannot have it jacked up like this in this horrible trash here. There's a dime right here. It's been in there for about a month. That 3 inches deep with a bunch of iron all around it. It hits it good, going slow. And that's how I'm hunting in these trashy areas. I'm just pinpointing the whole time, right? I'm just going around, rotating in circles around just little bleeps and pops. And it's hitting it good, fairly good. And I'll even adjust the recovery speed here. It's set at 5, factory preset set at 5, and I think that's perfect. I've used it in the Equinox for quite a few hours here, and just 5 is just perfect for me. I mean, I might be able to adjust it a little bit here and there, but the factory preset on this machine is for the iron bias is at 6, and I don't like 6, so I'll just change that back down to 3 here. Right, 3 runs pretty stable. It likes the iron in 3, or it likes hunting in the iron at 3. So I'll go out of that menu there, and I'll start in multi-frequency. It's not hitting it that way, right? Park 1. My gain is at 15. Not hitting it that way. And I can make some other adjustments too here, but I don't have enough time in this video to make all those adjustments. I'll change frequency, hit it in 5 kilohertz. No, I'm gonna do it. My gain is at 15 still. Really likes it in this way. It really hits it hard in 5 kilohertz. But I'm not going to go through all the frequencies. I'll try it at 40 kilohertz here. Barely even hitting it, man. I'm getting a little bleep there, but it's not hitting it in 40 kilohertz. So we'll just go back to multi-frequency and then go to park 2 mode. Spanks it big time. Look at how fast I can be swimming. But I get a bunch of other high tones on the nails over here on the surface. So it just runs really unstable in park 2 mode. You know, even at this lower gain here at 15, it just sounds like an unstable machine. But I think I'll be hunting in the super trashy areas like the dumps. I think park 2 mode will work perfect for these trashy areas just because it's hitting it, you know. I'm not normally swinging this fast, right? I mean, it hits it hardcore, but I'm not usually swinging that fast in the trashy areas. I'm just rotating on all these targets, like I said. Now I'll go to field 1. Bangs it big time, but I'm getting all that deep iron there, right? There's just so much iron around here, right? Just go slow. I'm getting a lot of other high tones. That's all the iron, and I'm still multi-frequency. I'm getting a one-way target right there on that dime, but it's spanking it. I mean, really good that way. I'm getting a good tone. And when you're digging around the trash, it's really about the tones, man. You don't look at the numbers, because the numbers are going to be altered by all that iron around there. You know, it's about the tones that it's giving you. And now I'll go to field 2 mode. Really unstable here. No, the iron's on, right? You want to hear the iron in the trashy sites. Have to go really slow, but it'll hit it really good here. Didn't make much difference, and I can change the frequencies. I can change the different modes, and change the iron bias. You know, that those have a lot of effect on what you're going to get in the dumps there. And now I'll go jack the gain up here. I'll go back to Park 1. Jack the gain up here. Just run it so I'm not getting too much EMI. 23. 23. Spanking it big time that way. I mean, big time. Nothing there, right? It's a dime 3 inches deep in the iron. It hits it hard when I swing it fast. Oh, spanking it big time right there, right there. It really likes at that angle. Now I'll go with the Simplex. And I'll just show you, man. The Simplex doesn't have very many settings, so I'm not going to factory preset it, because it's just so simple. There's nothing I can do to make it hit better than this right here. And so I'll just unmute it, sensitivity all the way up. Here's field mode right here. I'll show you what it sounds like. A lot of grunts. You know, my iron volume is at 2. '60s, '80s. My gain is at 3 right now. I'll jack it all the way up. Watch this, man. 91, 90, 66, 88. I'm getting a 97. I'm getting a little dead spot right there on it. But I'm getting some really good tones right there on it. 50s, 40s, 50s. Like what I'm saying, it's not about the numbers. It's about the tones when you're working the trash. Just spanking it. Little dead spot right there. Oh, it's hitting it hard. 90. See that? 90s. See it? Just a bunch of iron around here. Nails everywhere. Foil on the surface. So if you have it in field mode, all those targets that are near the surface are going to give you a bunch of high tones but low numbers, because it's iron, right? I'm not going to get any high numbers here, and that's the way it is in dumps. Don't look at your numbers too much. Now I'll put it in Park 1 mode, right? I'll hit it this way first. Spanking it. 60s, 80s, 90s, 70s, 50s, 70s, 50s, 04, 86, 96, 94, 50s, 40s. It's really jumpy. You can see the numbers are just jumping all over the place, because the Simplex has numbers from 0 to 99. The Equinox has 0 to or minus numbers. I have the iron on, so it's -9 to 40. 20s, 30s. That's in Park 1 mode. And I'll turn the gain down to 3 bars right here. I'll hit it this way first. 95, 96. In field mode, or in Park 1. 50s, 50s, 20s. Getting a dead zone right there. But I'm still getting 94, 96. 20s, but I'm getting a mid-tone, high tone. It's not a high tone, but it's a mid-tone. Still getting a high tone right in there. But it's reading a lot of the iron around there too. There's, you know, so there's a dead zone in there too. And it's right there, it's a dead zone. It has one little dead zone in there with this coil. So it's really not about the detector that you're using, man, when you're in high trash areas. And I've said it so many times in the past, man. Where all the treasure's at, it's in the trash, man. Bottle caps, foil, ring pulls, pull tabs. There's treasure, you know, there's jewelry, there's silver in those spots there. And it doesn't really matter what detector you're using if you know your detector well. And there's two big differences between these detectors right here. It's the simplicity of it, right? I just used a $250 machine and it smacked that thing out of the ground. And I also used a $1,000 machine and it still smacked it out of the ground. Sure, I would have dug both those targets up with both those machines because it was hitting it on one way. A one-way target like that, I'm gonna dig that because it's giving me good numbers, giving me good tones, and it's nice and solid. But the Simplex was hitting it just a little bit better. But there's just no rhyme or reason to it. I can come out here tomorrow and that Equinox will spank the Simplex's butt big time. In most cases, in most areas, the Equinox is gonna kill the Simplex, right? But the simplicity of it and the price point, you know, you can buy almost 3 Simplexes for the price of an Equinox 800. And especially when you start getting the shaft, you know, the upgrades, you know, that you have to get with the Equinox. If not, you're just going to start breaking a lot of parts. It's going to cost you a lot more money in the long run. With the Simplex, I have 2,700 hours on it, and I beat this thing to death. You can barely even see the numbers on that screen there because it's so scratched up and it's so beat up. But with Equinox, I'm not going to be throwing it around because it is an expensive machine and I don't want it to break and I don't want to have downtime on it. You know, I want to continue to be using the Equinox, so I'm not going to treat it like the Simplex. If one of my Simplexes breaks, I'll just use another one. You know, I'll just use my other Simplexes. I don't have that opportunity with the Equinox because it's so much more expensive. But there's really no rhyme or reason to finding stuff, man. On different days, I'll come out here tomorrow and I might not even hit it with any machine. And all my machines with all my coils, I've brought in a lot of high-end machines into that dime right there in the iron. And all of them struggle, man. Every single one of them struggle. None of my machines have been able to hit that coin all the way around. I don't know what's down there with that dime there at 3 inches deep, but there's just so much iron there. I just dug a 3-inch deep hole and just wanted to see if I could hit it with my machines, and all the machines were struggling. But there's no rhyme or reason to finding these targets in the iron. It doesn't matter what kind of machine you have. It's just you have to work at it. You just have to dig a lot of trash up to get stuff like that out. Sure, both those machines were smacking that, like I said, both those machines were smacking that out really good one way, but the Simplex was doing a little bit better. It was giving me some higher numbers there, pretty much most of the way around it. The Equinox was struggling a little bit for most of that target there, but when I got over that target in that sweet spot where both metal detectors were hitting it really good at, the Equinox was very stable. So if I'm swinging fast over a target like that, I know it's a dime. And even with the Simplex, you know, on the sweet spot there on that dime where it's hitting them really good, I still know that it's a dime. But with the Simplex, there's just not much you can do with the settings. You know, I usually am not taking the Simplex with this 5x9 SP24 coil in really trashy areas like this, because I have other metal detectors that'll do a lot better, like Equinox with the 6-inch, or the Amphibio with the 5x7, or the 7-inch coil, or the 5-inch coil, or the 5x9 coil. The 5x9 coil doesn't really do very good back here in this horrid trash. But the Simplex, you know, for 254 bucks, man, you guys make the decision, you know, if you want to spend $1,000 on a machine. Actually a little bit more than that, because I got the shaft and the battery pack and the extra coil there. If it's going to be worth, you know, if you're going to be digging for a lot of hours, if you're really going to be digging for a lot of hours and you're going to be hunting in some really trashy spots there, you know, the Equinox is top of the line, man. You can't get any better machine for the money, or period. Any VLF machine, it just can do a lot of stuff. But the Simplex is only 254 bucks. You guys saw that, you know. But I'm going to be testing this Equinox out with the Simplex with the both stock coils on that coin right there, and I'll see how it performs. Well, thank you for watching. Please subscribe.